Okay, I was just going to give a real quick walk around of where I ended up with my electrical system and off-grid power and that kind of thing. Up on the roof rack in the middle, I've got two small solar panels. I think they're like 40-watt panels. They come up at Canadian Tire on sale a few times a year for $100 instead of $180. So if you wait, you can get them relatively cheap. They come with a little charge controller and everything. That panel, one of them feeds through a charge controller you can just make out in the window there maybe. And that feeds down to my starter battery, which is on the front now because, like I was saying before, I wanted it close to this winch. So I'd have a really short cable and not overheat a cable and burn it out. And I've got a fairly heavy duty cable coming from the alternator, which allows me to charge it a little faster maybe. And then I've got a cable running that way. It goes over to the starter relay. So that's the truck battery, the starter battery. To run my inverter, I've got two 6-volt interstate golf cart style batteries. And they're just in series, so the ground goes from the frame to negative, and then positive goes to negative, and then positive comes around here going to the inverter. There's two fairly large cables feeding my inverter. This is the 120 volts out of the inverter, and then this is my landline, which starts at the very back of the truck, but I just looped it through the frame up to here, and if I want to run it off my extension cord, I just undo it there and plug it in. The inverter ended up over here just because it was close by, and it's fairly dry down there. It's a little hard to plug into. And you can see the wiring coming from the solar panel, and I've got a switch for the inverter here where I can reach it from the outside or inside. And that's about that. That used to be where the fuel tank was originally on this truck, but somebody bought a really big one and put it in the back, which I later removed. Inside, if there's enough light. If you guys ever watch Jay Leno's garage, he always says to have a cutoff switch for the battery, so this is where mine is. I can turn it on and I've got 12 volts now feeding over to the original truck wiring, and I can switch it off. And I don't know that there's much more to tell you about all that.